The most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Jack to the test!
Hi there guys, welcome back into another session. Hope everyone's having a brilliant start to the week. Much going on over the last 48 hours in the world? No? Okay, shall we carry on? See what Bitcoin and crypto's doing? Can we attack, finally, new all-time highs leading into the summer? I believe so. So let's have a look at some levels together, okay? So last week, quick review back. We were very much of the opinion that short side trades last week, day trades, intraday hedges were the play to play, okay? Coming into the weekend, okay, we started to find a little bit of demand on BTC. Sunday, good demand defense on Bitcoin at 97.8. I would expect a good bounce here in normal conditions. We all know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. For me personally, I will always try and just trade the data, okay? Sometimes that can be very, very gut-wrenching when you want to lean in to a trade, obviously, okay, and put a bit of risk on in those zones when everyone else is so bearish. But sometimes it's the way it's got to be, okay? And we did get a nice bounce yesterday, okay? So normal Bitcoin conditions, I think so, yes. Good risk reward long here from last week's shorts, yes, okay? So shorts were the play last week. Bears had a lot of fun last week. Sunday, going into Monday, big demand zones, big defense on Binance futures there at 978 as well. Litecoin finding some good demand. Sol and ETH following along as well. Okay, yesterday, US session, volatility hitting. You're going to have to expect that, okay? So, does whatever's going on in the world give us direction? No. Does it give us volatility to trade? Yes, okay, but you've still got to read the data. You've got to stick to the plan, okay? For the last 48 hours, I've been leaning risk on, okay? So, shorts last week, great. Last 48 hours, risk on. I only want longs, to be honest. I've not been looking to add shorts here whatsoever, okay? So US volatility, yes, you're always going to get that regardless of Middle East tensions or not. Bit of chopper on the weekly open, yep, you're going to get that. And then back into demand yesterday. So another little cut, another little dive under that 100k level, okay, yesterday. And then up we go, okay? So follow us on Twitter if you're not giving us a follow on Twitter or X, okay? Try and keep everyone updated on there as well, okay? And then just posting a chart for the TA nerds. This is what we were looking at all day yesterday as we're hitting these range lows. Yes, you are in a range lows on Bitcoin, okay? Every time you bounced into these range lows, which is value, okay? Price is trying to auction value. Did you find a bid there? Yes, you did, and we bounce up. When you get the bounce, you need to have a look at the horizontal price action levels, value area low, daily, weekly open, okay? And then you just need to say to yourself, okay, we need to hold these levels for further expansion up, okay? If you start to fail, it's going to look weaker, but look at that really, really nice bullish 4-hour candle. And I can tell you right now, I was seeing it all over social media, Twitter, I was seeing it in various, trading social media things that basically every time we came down here, you can tell straight away that people posting, right, okay, that's it, 93k next, okay, yeah, I think 92 or 90k, I'm going to wait down there. Well, I tell you what, instead of posting on social media, why don't you try and have a look at the order flow, okay, and get involved. Sometimes you've just got to lean into the trade, however gut-wrenching it is. And, sometimes it, depending on what kind of volume you were trading, sometimes it can make you a bit sick, when you lean into those trades. But you've just got to trust the data, you've just got to manage the risk, and you've got to get involved, okay? Yeah, so, yeah. It's been good price action, I think, over the last 48 hours. Sticking to the plan. Let's have a look at where we are now in TradingView. Right then, guys, let's have another quick top-down look at the levels on Bitcoin. Weekly chart to start with, okay? So, weekly level straight away. We didn't quite come down much lower to that weekly 21 that we've got there and these weekly levels at 96. Where we have held is actually these previous closes here in and around that 98.4. So a big wick onto those levels and back up. Price action still looking constructive. You'll know if you've been following along for the last month or so that we've got this fib time involved on the weekly chart in this high time funnel, and I'm looking for a further expansion up into this region, okay, whether that be the 117, the 122, 127. I'm not going to get my crystal ball out and, you know, say we're going to hit one of these to the exact dollar. You know, if and when we go up there and start to break this higher time frame all-time high and order block up here, what's the all-time high? In and around 112, depending on your exchange, okay? When we push up there, then we'll review again, okay? But, you know, as everyone's getting bearish at potential weekly support, these are the trades you want to take, okay? Daily chart range, okay? Let's have a look at where we are now. So we've pushed up, price currently at around 105. You can just see you've got some nice support, okay? A little bit lower now. So if you've missed all of this action, okay, don't chase green candles. Maybe you get a little pullback to what would be the weekly VWAP, okay, 103.856. I'm not sure because the price action is very bullish and you've got a point of control there. Even if you get major volatility back down into this range support zone here, what is this? Okay, well, it's currently at daily and 4-hour range lows, okay? So these are areas we need to hold. Weekly open there, we'll call it 101. Okay? But old range value area high, now current value area low. Where is that from? Back in January, okay? So just a tickle off that zone. So nice resistance to support flip on the much higher time frame zone. 4-hour chart, and this is what we're looking at all day yesterday, okay? So bidding the lows, bidding the range lows for sure. The data in the trader console was showing us that, okay? If you're getting bearish down here, maybe just spend a little bit more time learning the data from the trader console, all right? If you need a little bit more in-depth education, go grab a link for the academy courses as well and dive into the docs pages. We'll jump into the trader console in a second. So yeah, leaning in, risk on, longs in the range lows. Then what you want to see is, after these massive, nicely 4-hour bullish candles, is basically, for me, it was just to hold the range lows, okay, which is around here with that weekly VWAP, okay. We actually continued to push up in the Asian session. So now, because we've had that extension up, all I'm looking at is the point of control around that 104 level. Monthly open 104.590. Okay, so I want to hold in and around here. It could be the case that you get a little bit of chop. So you see this area here, this crab action here. Maybe it's the case that you then further chop this zone a little bit before getting an expansion. Okay, and look, I am bullish here, but I'm not going to you know, just stick with that bias if the supply starts to attack here and then we start failing these areas again, okay? That, you know, as a discretionary dynamic trader, that is the way to be. But we've certainly had some bullish price action. Stock market risk assets didn't even gap down yesterday. So that was a sign yesterday as well, entering Monday, that risk assets, you can just see E-mini futures there, plus 0.76%. Not much, okay? But they were unfazed by the tensions going on in the world yesterday, okay? So right here, right now, just simply looking for the point of control to hold, okay? Possibly a little bit of chop, but I'm not sure because this is very bullish price action, okay? And then, yeah, looking for further expansion up in the coming days and weeks. 4-hour fib time landing there on the 26th, okay? Just to zoom in on the 1-hour chart very quickly, okay? So here's our deviation down, 1-hour chart. I think even Saturday looked quite good, actually. We're getting a little bit of bid Saturday, bounced up. If you were bidding Saturday night, roll over, manage your risk in these conditions. So at best, get stopped out at break even or just a little bit above to pay your fees. Down into that Sunday, really nice deviation down, back up, test, didn't even come down to test the Sunday lows and back up. And so just to zoom in on those levels there, here you are. So daily open's quite high, monthly open down there, and then the point of control is right back here. Okay, nice position at the 103 level with our 100 EMA, okay, 1 hour 100 EMA and weekly VWAP, okay. So any volatility down here is still going to look like bullish price action. But with that being said, let's have a look at what the order flow is saying in the trader console.
Well, in my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated.
Right then, guys, Trader Console, TRDR.io, grab a link from below for a free trial. Just viewing the multiverse as normal at the minute, keeping an eye on what assets are doing what. So, some very nice charts we've had. Obviously, we can see BTC here. We're going to dive into a little bit more detail on that. But yeah, finding some demand with the BTC Diamonds. So Group Spot and BTC Diamonds yesterday, few hours after the US Open, people getting bearish down there, bounce up, okay? And despite the fact that we hit this supply here, given the structure and the price action involved, I was not bothered in any way, shape or form for closing longs or taking fresh shorts up here. If you were following along in the Discord, I pretty much said, might have been in the private section to the lads, but all day yesterday I said to the lads, bears are fucked here. We are going up, okay? Eve following along, Eve hitting a little bit of supply there. Sol is doing Sol things as well. It is just following along at the minute. Best longs yesterday, Fartcoin, okay? If you're part of the private section in the TRDR Discord, you'll know that I was absolutely all over Fartcoin yesterday. I don't trade Fartcoin much, not too bothered for meme coins in the slightest, but sometimes you've just got to look for those absolutely mega setups, and when you see these kind of anomalies in the order flow and this kind of bullishness in the order flow, you've just got to take it. All right, so let's have a look at what is going on with big boy BTC. Let's just dive into Bitcoin here and have a look at what the actual it's getting a little bit bid up already. Who's there? Yeah, it's still getting bid up, to be honest. So look, there's no reason to be short here whatsoever. We did hit supply yesterday, but I don't think there was any reason to be, entering fresh shorts yesterday whatsoever, to be honest. I just really don't. So here we are, weekly open below. We're just sat on, okay, for the TA NEDs. We're just sat on the monthly open. Spot market has been bid. We know that, okay? So spot market has been bid. You've got not a lot going on right here, right now. I don't expect there to be, okay? I don't expect there to be massive amounts of ratio coming in and pushing price up on the spot market at 104k, okay? Have a look at where you've come from, okay? Where you've come from and where you are going. We've come from spot demand, okay? We're now moving up. You're moving away from that bid. So it might be the case that the spot demand does start to come and sit under price, but we're not seeing that right here, right now, okay? But also not seeing a reason for fresh short. So longs from the lows, manage it now, okay? Manage it. Coinbase, okay, we've got some supply. So Coinbase have been bidding as well. We do have some heavy supply coming into 108. I've got a feeling we're going to smash this zone. It might take a little bit of time, but we're going to smash that zone. Why? It's a recycled zone. We've been here before, okay? Then just to highlight the perps market for you, okay? So perps, absolutely mega bid. If I just have a look at that on a 5 minute, okay? So this was Sunday's lows, okay? So I think on Sunday in the main Discord, Trades Discord, one of the guys said, Nick, can we have an update? And I just posted this and said, this is your invalidation. And that is it. Okay, keep it really simple. That there, with such a big order block there, trying to fill on price, okay, in this triple band demand here, double band demand, triple band demand. What do I mean by that? Just depth of book, okay, depth of book. Jump into the docs page to learn more. That's rare to see on Bitcoin. I ain't gonna fight that. And then when we bounce back up, yes, you had some offers yesterday, okay? You did have some offers and they did the job, they did the job. If you were scalping, day trading down, hedging a position, really well done. They did the job. But the offer side wasn't as aggressive as the bid side, was it, okay? So we come down, bounce up, okay? And then what you've got to consider is when you start to hit this supply again is where have you come from? You've come from good depth of book, okay? You've come from low open interest there. Yeah, I'm not going to fight this. So right here, right now, main offers a little bit higher. We know that we've got 108 on Coinbase. You've got 108 to 110 in the perps market, okay? Little bit of a battleground now. Potentially not going to be easy, but I'm certainly not looking for fresh shorts yet, okay? Everyone's so bearish, they're going to have to chase this price action now, all right, guys? So, look, we'll go live in the US session. Join us there. Cheers, guys.
I bet your margins are pretty nice and fat.
Let's not talk about my margins, by the way. Being nice and fat, that's a nice shirt. Do they make it for men?
And we say bye-bye.